What's up, guys? It's your boy, the hoodlum, Eric Acton, and you're tuning in to the 3 Count Podcast. Enjoy.
High class, we trying to drag ball it. Now entering the ring.
Welcome everybody to another great edition of the 3 Count Podcast presents Now Entering the Ring. I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller, and I'm the one who leads you on your expedition. But this is not about me. This is about Now Entering the Ring, which means one thing. We have a special guest for you. You can find this man at GCW, AAW, MLW, Galley. You can find this man at Bar Wrestling. You can find this man at FU1. You can find this man at More Rounds. And you can find this man on AAA. He is the base god. Give it up for Gringo Loco.
Now that is how you make an introduction, brother. How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Yo, man, thank you so much just for like taking the time to come and hang out with us here at the in the ring.
Pleasure's all mine, man.
Bet. So, I mean, just right off the jump, the first question I'm just going to ask you is, who is Gringo Loco?
Gringo Loco. Well, an American luchador born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and been in about 17 years. And trying to make it in the Lucha Libre scene, American scene ever since, man. Didn't really have a boom until about 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say. Really starting to pay off now. So yeah, man, I just love professional wrestling, especially the Lucha Libre aspect part about it. So that's pretty much who I am.
Oh man, that's awesome. I know, like for me, like I got introduced to you probably about midway through last year. Because like, yeah, being one of like new into the business as far as like finding out the indie scene and learning, like I instantly gravitated to your character, and I was like, I love this so much. Like I got attached.
I appreciate that, man.
So I was like, I have to keep following. So I've like gone through and watched like a lot of your matches, and even saw you like, you know, during GCW with all their events going on over WrestleMania weekend. I was like, man, I'm just, like I said, I just got gravitated, and I was like, I very much am attached. What brought you into the business though?
Yeah, so that was kind of a weird, funny story, man. Like, so I used to be, a big fan of WWF Superstars, the show on Saturday morning when they had the red, white, and blue ropes, and I thought these characters were unbelievable. You know, they were coming out and doing these crazy moves, and then just pinning their opponents within like 2 minutes. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I said, one day I'm gonna do that. I just don't know how it's gonna happen. So we get to high school. And me and my buddy are like, we don't know where a wrestling ring is. So what are we going to do? We want to do this, but we don't have a place to do it. So we sniffed out a gymnastics place that had an open gym with a really cool owner that would let us do pretty much whatever we wanted with no medical insurance or anything. So, looking back at it now, like those places don't exist. But yeah, I started out at a gymnastics place, man. And we started wrestling on the blue tumbling floor pretty much, doing basic finishing maneuvers like Stone Cold Stunners, rock bottoms, pedigrees and stuff. I mean, that's literally all we knew how to do at the time because that's all we saw on television. So from then, just one random night, we just really wanted to find a ring. And lo and behold, like a real worker / wrestler came in to do some tumbling. And he saw what we were doing and he asked us, where do you guys work? And us not being, in the business and knowing exactly what that means, we were like, yeah, I work at Starbucks. He works at Little Caesars. But he was talking about like, where do you guys work wrestling wise? And we didn't know. So he took us to a couple weeks later to a Lucha Libre gym, actually, that existed in Chicago at the time, not too far from my house. And then from there on, it was off to the races, man. I've never really looked back. Since those days, I've kept true to my word of like training pretty consistently throughout the 17 years with, the training and the knowledge that they instilled in me at an early age at about 15 at that specific Lucha Libre gym. So yeah, that's pretty much the story how I got in, bro.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. I know for me, like I was asked the same question, like, hey, are you a worker? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I work for Kraft Heinz. Like that's what I had.
Yeah, exactly.
I was on the same boat. It was like, oh.
Yeah,
So
that's funny.
seeing how you're working in like you are, in American Lucha Libre, I'm just very curious though, like what's been one of the worst bumps you've taken?
Oh man, there's been so many, man. I've definitely been knocked out on a couple things. The one that comes to mind right now would be definitely I was young. I was on a super hot roll in Mexico City, and I was doing 450s like nothing back in the day, man. And I was like, you know what, I got this. So I tried to stall on one. It was live TV. I wanted to make it really good. Guy was a little too far in, so instead of hitting him with my chest on the second, rotation, his knee, my knees hit his chest, which in turn, launched my forehead into this really hard Mexico City, ring canvas, and completely knocked myself silly, man. It was pretty intense. I remember kind of seeing the ref, looking up at the ref, and just seeing the lights kind of fade in and out. Next thing I know, I wake up in the locker room with like everybody around me saying, "Bro, are you okay? Like that, you're not responding." And I just kind of had a little mini panic attack, like because I didn't know what was going on, man. Like, you close your eyes for 1 second, then you're in the locker room. You don't know how you got there. You don't know what exactly happened, and it's kind of a hard video to definitely watch back, even today, all these years later, because you could see like I start crawling for some reason, like the body just goes into shock, and then they turn me over and they just like whisk me away on like a little board. But I'd say that's pretty much one of the worst that I've ever had, man. I haven't really had any injuries, major injuries, knock on wood, but thankfully, but that was a pretty rough one. I remember that day pretty vividly. Yeah.
Damn, that's intense. That's probably the worst
Yeah.
story I've heard of like
Yeah.
all the interviews I've done. Oh, that sounds tough. All right, well, besides like knocking yourself silly, I'm just curious, what's the hardest you've been hit?
Oh God, there's a couple guys in Mexico with heavy hands, man. I'd have to say it's a tie between a guy named Ultimo Guerrero and another guy called Black Terry, bro. These guys are just like rabid dogs. They got these big leathery hands, and they literally show up to matches just ready for an actual fight. It's just their style, like the street fight kind of like just want to just get gritty and grimy and just really want to knock your teeth out sometimes. So those two guys definitely take the cake on that one.
Oh, damn. So I know a lot of people ask this question, like, what's your favorite match that you've ever had? But I'm gonna flip the script. Just want to know, like, what's
Yeah.
been one of the worst matches you've ever had?
Oh man, there's a ton of those. I mean, I'm not gonna like bury anyone, but like you can go into a ring sometimes and there's just zero chemistry.
Hmm.
And luckily, in the 17 years I've been around, I've never really hurt anyone. I've always tried to take care of my opponent. And I mean, there's matches here and there that come to mind. I don't want to name any names, but you just go in and these guys, you just don't have anything in common with them, so it's just pretty rough to just get along and make the best match possible. So, I mean, as long as my career's been, luckily I haven't had that many of them, but there's a few out there. Hopefully, I'm on tape. But you know, I don't want to name any names, but here and there, brother. You know what I
No,
mean?
yeah,
They
no, no
they
names.
exist everywhere. It's just clash of styles, man. It wasn't anybody's fault.
No. I understand. All right. So I
Yeah.
mean, seeing how you get in a ring. I know a lot of I've been learning this like as I've been going along, but a lot of wrestlers don't eat before like the show, so they always have like that big post match snack or post match meal. So I'm just curious, what's your post match snack or meal?
Yeah. Oh my God, absolutely, man. This is what I learned this later on in my career, man, that how important it is to not eat at least like 5 hours before your match at all. I mean, I find myself now definitely following that very strictly, and I feel a lot lighter in the ring. I don't feel, like this heaviness, this not willing to really move fast enough for the match. I'm in a lot of these matches where guys are going a million miles an hour. And I find myself able to keep up with them if I'm not eating 5 to 6 hours before the match. But dude, after match, post match, brother, we're getting all kinds of sources of protein, brother. We're doing, chicken, we're doing shrimp, we're doing steak fajitas, we're doing pretty much everything there is. Everything that you thought about that entire day before the match, you're now eating after the match. That's for sure.
I just could imagine just having like a little bowl of like chicken and then one a shrimp, and then just have like a steak fajita right next to you like that. So that just might be my thing now. I might have to just do that.
Yeah, I mean, just last night, like we were coming off a 3-show loop here locally in Chicago. 2 out of 3 were very good matches. Luckily, the last 2 were good, so we were pretty much riding on a high. And yeah, they go out for tacos or whatever. And yeah, I got like I want to say 7 tacos, bro. 3 steak, 3 chicken, 1 shrimp. Like it's exactly what I just told you. Just getting as much protein possible in my body as best as I can because you're usually starved at that point, you know.
Yeah. No, yeah, I understand that. All right, well then, I mean, as you've been giving like great advice about getting as much protein as possible, I'm just curious, what other advice would you want to give to like up and coming wrestlers?
Man, like I get this question a lot, bro, and I would say, especially now, there's so much competition. Not that there wasn't before, but I feel like now the game is definitely leveled up in a sense. Anybody who's up and coming, man, there's going to be many times where you feel like you're going to want to give up and just say this probably isn't for me. You know, you're going to go through a lot of hard times in this business. It's not easy, and I would say definitely do not give up. Just keep kind of pushing through because if this sport, makes you as happy as it did for me, and I had my little stints where I stopped. My biggest regret is where I stopped wrestling for a year here, 2 years there. I would have liked to continue to see, what would have happened in that time that I was gone. So up and coming wrestlers, man, you're going to be feeling some type of way. You're going to have a bad match. You're going to hate the traveling. You're going to hate the promoter stiffing you. But all of that is just part of this crazy wrestling journey. And just keep pushing through because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. This dark, weird, random professional wrestling tunnel. And I think that the end of the tunnel is a very satisfying thing.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, I'm just very curious, man. I need one do and one don't of the locker room.
Oh, I mean, you have to say hello to everyone. I broke into the business and did not know that, and I was in there with some headers, and I was not, smartened up, quick enough, and there was a battle royal that evening, and they smartened me up very quickly, and I got my ass beat pretty swiftly. And cleanly, like nobody got in trouble for it. They just beat down the green kid, and I'll always remember that. The don'ts is you don't want to talk shit about people that are in the building with you because that'll travel like rapid fire, and then you're gonna have some major heat on your hands. Any way that you can, man, just avoid heat at all costs, and there's gonna be times where you're gonna want to definitely speak your mind on something, but if it's not something you feel super strongly about, definitely keep your mouth shut.
Bet. I appreciate that. That's
Yeah.
it's a great knot to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Exactly.
that is like all like my big, like heavy, hard-hitting questions. So we have to get into the second best segment of the 3 Count podcast. People ask me what the first one is. It's the Red Dog Power Rankings, hands down. So let's get into the 3 Count podcast 10 count questions. Mr. Gringo Loco, are you ready for the 3 Count podcast questions?
I am ready as I'll ever be. Let's do it.
All right, so here's how it works. I'm going to fire off 10 rapid questions at you, and it's whatever first comes to mind.
Okay, are these one-word answers or just whatever comes to mind?
Just whatever comes to mind.
Okay, let's see.
All right, so we'll put on the imaginary timer. Bing! And here we go. SmackDown or Raw?
I personally I've always liked SmackDown better.
Favorite color?
I get black everything, so black for sure.
3 things you would take with you on an island?
A computer, a TV, and a protein shake. It's what came to my mind.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Oh man, Ren and Stimpy.
Hey, yo. I just saw a clip the other day.
Yeah.
I just saw a clip the other day and I forgot, but it was when Stimpy had a log on his back and Ren was using a saw and like making the motion.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I
Yep.
forgot how adult this show was.
Yeah, seriously, man. I don't even know if it was in today's times.
Yeah, no.
I
Uh,
don't think so.
Sonic or Mario?
Oh, Mario. I'm a big Super Mario fan. Absolutely.
Awesome. Favorite X-Men?
Oh, you got to go with Wolverine. Is that the cliche answer? I'd probably say Wolverine. Wolverine was always dope.
I mean, can't fight them claws, man. You know?
He can't, man. He'll slice your whole life up,
Right. And then Hugh Jackman was the man. Let's just be real. Like he put it down for
dude.
Wolverine.
I mean, he did an interview one time with some like movie critic or whatever. They're like, yeah, like, what did you eat? He was like, I'm literally eating yogurt and lunch meat, and I tried that for 3 weeks, and I lost 10 pounds. I ate exactly what Wolverine ate, and I lost 10 pounds. It was funny.
That's crazy. All right, PlayStation
Yeah.
or Xbox?
So I was always growing up Xbox, and then I started dating a lovely young lady, and I am PlayStation for life, I think, at this point. So I've been fully converted.
That's fine with me. We're gonna shoot this off with
Yeah.
favorite podcast.
You know, I really like Cole Cabana's podcast. I really enjoy Jericho's. They always bring a lot to the table, man. I love Joe Rogan. Um, I'd say those are definitely the top three that I listen to on a pretty consistent basis.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to pause on this one. So with the Joe Rogan Experience, right? Is there like a certain person that you look forward to seeing on the show?
No, I actually like not knowing who's going to be on the show, and I just kind of dive into whoever he has on because you can learn so much in that an hour and a half show that he has. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I know for me, like, there's a few names that I definitely like. It perks my ear, and I definitely like hop in. Like Dan Crenshaw was one of them. Tulsi Gabbard is another one. I just like listening to her talk. And then Colleen Noir was
Yeah.
on there, and Max Holloway, who's by right now, hands down my favorite fighter of like this generation for MMA. So I was like,
Yeah.
anytime I see those names pop up, I'm like, download you. We're gonna listen to you later today.
Yeah. It's absolute, man. Isn't it great technology today? You just have to hit a button and then you have whenever you want to listen to it. It's so fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. And then like every episode of this show, like I have legitimately downloaded in my podcast form, and I go back. I'm like, what did that one person say this one time? Oh yeah. And I just write down in my notebook, and I just
Yeah.
take all the notes I can.
I mean, you can literally just like bookmark the minute mark and you just have whatever you need at that second. It's awesome.
Yep. All right. So nominate someone that you would want to see on this podcast.
Oh man, so many people that need an opportunity to be seen and heard. I mean, would you have luchadors on here if they spoke enough English?
I would have
I
anyone.
would say definitely Ares. Ares is one of these luchadors that's making a big splash here. I just had 3 matches with him involved in the match, and every match got money thrown in the ring. So he has a very unique style. His whole gimmick is called Strange Style, and he brings so much diversity to the table, man. It's unbelievable. He's one of the best, most unique workers I've ever been in the ring with. So he might be an interesting choice.
Awesome. Don't have to look it up. And then last but not least, my favorite question to ask every single person who comes on this podcast: favorite curse word.
Fuck.
I was like, come on, man. Like, we already know it's not.
Because you could just use it in so many different ways and formats. It's very an awesome word.
Yeah, I was for the longest time. Like, if you go back and listen to like a few of the other episodes, you'll see like I'm promoting this one YouTube channel that has their video is just called The History of the F Word. And it's like it's only like 5 minutes long, but it's like one of the greatest videos like ever done.
Yeah. I'll have to look that up, dude. I need to know the history of the F word, bro.
So with that being said, Mr. Gringo Loco, I just need you to let me know, or let our listeners and our viewers know where they can find you.
Oh yeah, so we got the old Twitter is at Gringo Loco OG. We have Instagram is I am Base God, and the shoot name on Facebook is Charlie Santo. That's where you'll find all my information and upcoming dates. That's pretty much it, my man.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, this is the 3 Count Podcast, now entering the ring. I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller. And like I said, I'm the one that leads you on your expeditions. And this is now entering the ring here with Gringo Loco. And you guys know what to do. Tune into the next episode and be there, or you just wait until the outro and then you listen to the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. What's going on, 3 Count Nation? I'm Clifford Red Dog Miller with the catchphrase. But what I really want to do right now, go to twitter.com, right? Go over there, find us at the 3count_pod, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a comment. We want to talk to you guys. Go to IG at the 3Count Pod. Give us a like, give us a follow, leave us a comment. We want to interact with you. Go to youtube.com, give subscribe, turn the bell on, turn the notifications, leave a comment. We want to talk to you. Go to anchor.fm/the 3Count Podcast, and in there, you can leave us a message, and we will talk to you. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that we want to talk to you. We want to have fun with you guys, and we love listening to what you guys have to say. Also, one thing I need you to do for me, the 3Count Podcast also has merchandise. At prowrestlingtees.com/the 3Count Pod. Please go buy our t-shirts. We love you guys, and we hope you love us too. So show us some support, please.